Okay, heading down to the strip for the post-noon look to see what's going on. Greetings again, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Bror Fredrik with another lockdown video. I didn't really plan the start of my YouTube channel to be based on this, but it is what it is. So if you're interested in the content, click the link below. You know what to do. Like, subscribe. If you want to see more, I appreciate it. And right after this, which will be 30 days, I'll get back to the usual content of filmmaking, photography, and my own brand of philosophy. So here we are cruising down Flamingo and crossing over the 15 now. I mean, light traffic. This is pretty awesome. But I'm curious to see what's going on the strip. I don't really anticipate anything different than what I saw today. People are just using the strip as another alternate route to get where they need to go, which is kind of cool in a way. But here we go. Kind of a gloomy, overcast day. Normally I like them because it's just amazing for images, but all things considered today, I think I would have rather liked to see the sun. Now this part's unusual. This is never a downhill shot straight to the Cromwell. I see everyone watching, and I do appreciate it. I wish I could say hello to each and every one of you, but I'm doing the sketchy thing of hand-holding until I find my smartphone holder for my windshield, so I gotta be safe. But I appreciate you all watching. We have, who's this? Channel 8 on the proverbial median. People just busting through the red lights. I guess I should have shut off notifications. And there's still people walking around. I'll spare you the blinkers. And as far as staying home, someone sent me a message about that. You know, in the grand scheme of things, I'm in my car. I practice good hygiene. You know, I'm not really worried about what's going to happen in my car and doing my day-to-day business. Still bummed about not being able to go to the gym, so might lose some mass. I'll probably have abs for the summer, so whoop-de-doo. A lot of you probably don't remember Y2K. Some of the people my age, a little younger, definitely older, will remember Y2K. Y2K was an interesting period. They came up with a hypothesis, because that's all it was, that planes were going to fall out of the sky because the calendars and computers were unable to recognize the rollover of the clock. The banking system was going to collapse. Nuclear warheads were going to detonate. Again, planes falling from the sky. That was kind of horrific. Basically, the end of the world, the end times, because of the clocks on computers, that the people who actually designed computers didn't take the time to program the year Y2K into it. So what was the response? Honestly, it wasn't all that different from what you're seeing now. Obviously, the strip didn't close down. They made the most of it. There was parties, and you know, it was kind of spectacular. People went to Costco, people shopped, people stocked up on non-perishables, and as I recommended 2 nights ago, the key thing is non-perishables. You know, buying cucumbers, it's not going to do you any good now, because in a month you're going to be throwing them in the garbage. So research non-perishable foods. That's what you need to get right now if you don't plan on going out. And so everyone did that. And at that time, I had two, besides the filmmaking and the photography, I had two thriving brick and mortar businesses, as well as two very successful online businesses. And we were prepared basically for the worst. We were told lock our doors, and we basically, there wasn't social media back then. There wasn't the hype. We listened to the news, we talked with each other, we came up with a game plan. Matter of fact, I had my own party in one of the retail locations. Yes, I went out and bought plywood, and we boarded up the windows because it was going to be the purge and it was the end of the world, and we did all that. And I'll tell you what, we sat there, the countdown, like it was New Year's Eve. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No planes fell out of the sky. No zombies, rose from the dead. Nothing happened. The biggest catastrophe of the whole thing, well, I can name two. I'll tell you a quick story after this, but I can name two. One, everyone returned all that stuff the very next day. They were all in Costco, they were all in Vons, they were all in Albertsons, returning all their supplies. So that did impact actual shopping for a while. So that was kind of weird. And I did have a friend who truly, truly, honestly believed that it was going to be the end of society as we knew it. And he sold everything he had, bought a pickup truck, loaded his family in it, and went to some desolate place and basically built a lean-to. And he stayed out there away from civilization for about 3 weeks. Nice guy, smart guy, just, that's what he chose to believe. Needless to say, he came back to no way to support his family, no income. Ultimately, they divorced. She wasn't thrilled about being, in that scenario. But I understand people going to extremes. I don't know what that's all about. But I don't think now's the time. Now's the time to be Vegas strong. As you can see, there's still traffic. I don't really see anything going on here. I mean, it's just being another alternate route, but there's definitely no traffic. I'm gonna come tonight. I just want to see if they put the lights on or shut them off or whatever the case may be. But anyway, here's my suggestion from Bror Fredrik, the Nordic philosopher. Take the time to get to know your neighbors. Everyone's concerned about what might happen and looting and all these, worst case scenarios, which I take into consideration too. It's wise to be prepared, but I'm not going to live in fear either. But the difference between now and Y2K is that people knew each other. I mean, social distancing, whatever, but now we practice it on a daily basis because of social media. Do you know your neighbors? Do you know their habit patterns, when they come, when they go? Do you know who the strangers are in their lives? Do they have your back? Do you have theirs? It's a good time to get to know your neighbors. That's something that's missing. I mean, I live in a nice community, but I'll be honest, I don't even know my neighbors. I'm going to make a point. I'll stand 6 feet away to introduce myself. I'll tell them that if I see anything squirrely on their property, that I'll inform them. I'll give them my number. We'll exchange information. If that's the last time I ever speak to them, so be it. But I'm going to make contact with them, and I'm going to get to know the people who are around me. And, times like this, it's a good time. It's a good time to get to know the people in your community. And we've distanced ourselves to the point where we don't even know our neighbors. The neighbor, you see the neighbor taking out the garbage, you wait to get your mail because you don't want to have an interaction with him. But that's not going to work in a scenario like this. We need to know who our neighbors are, if we can count on them. If I got water, do you have water? Hey, you got any toilet paper? That's a big issue. I had to throw that in. Although I do have some. Let's see what's going on there. You know, a little police presence is normal. There's Resort World, 2021, that'll be open. I saw plenty of construction today. Arville was being repaved, so obviously people are still working. I'm going to go down a little bit more. I do have some things I got to accomplish. I probably will head out again tonight just to see if they leave the lights on or not. But I think whether the strip remains open or whether the National Guard gets called in or there's a larger police presence really depends on us as a society. If we behave poorly, if we behave like a bunch of idiots, if we behave like, you know, we're in the episode of The Walking Dead, yeah, they're going to roll out, and it's going to add anxiety to a lot of people's lives. I personally don't want to see a tank rolling down my block, but if people behave like idiots, it's going to happen. Don't think it's not, because, you know, it's just the way it has to be. But I don't want to be slapped with martial law and told when I can come and when I can go and when I can drive and when I can eat. So it's sort of up to us to maintain the peace amongst ourselves. So just don't do anything stupid. And I saw a post today that sort of irritated me. How do I report a business that's open? Why would you want to report a business that's open? That's, you know, okay, if you're in fear of that business spreading. I went to my post office box today and they were enforcing, they had sanitizer there, they were enforcing a 6-foot space between customers. You know, they had their act together under the circumstances. As far as reporting businesses for being open, am I going to report that, you know, there's some work going on down the block, some guy putting a roof on? I mean, people are trying to make a living. Don't get carried away and start reporting businesses. If they're flagrantly in violation of the law, doing something weird, or, you know, licking counters, you know, go for it. But don't panic. Don't get involved in that level of fear mongering, whatever you want to call it. Just don't go there. Worry about yourself. You know, I'm going to go home. I received some wonderful new computer parts for my personal AI computer, Odin. He's getting an upgrade today. That's kind of exciting for me. Do something. You know, if you're worried about things, clean your house. You know, get some bleach going, have fun, listen to some music. Evidently, I stumbled upon some traffic here, but I'm going to bail. Thanks for coming along for the ride. I'll cruise around tonight, see what's going on. Dude in his Ferrari is pretty chill. And once again, Bror Fredrik out.
Make sure it sound right, boys.